All right. Thank you for being here with me today. Mr. Barr, you are First Ward City Council member. You are the chairman of Streets and Sewers Committee and Traffic Commission. You also oversee the Municipal Services, Parks and Recreation, and Public Utilities. You graduated from Marion High in 1990. You earned an associate's from Marion Tech in 2011 and completed a business administration degree from Franklin University in 2019.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to add? No? All right.
You tell my military background.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Well,
you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background? Have you always been in Marion?
Yes, sir. Born and raised in Marion. Graduated from Marion Hardy in 1990. Had enlisted in the Army as a junior in high school. And
wow.
Went and did a 2.5-year term. Back then they had a short-term enlistment for, I think it was like $17,500 for college at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I spent a year in Korea on the DMZ and come back, and probably 9-10 years later started a family.
Oh, wow.
So I have 2 young kids.
Oh, okay. How old are they?
Well, they're not young anymore.
Right.
My daughter Allison's 25. My son is just turned 22. He's
okay. About the same age as me.
Senior year, Wright State Lake Campus, playing baseball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. What's your favorite thing about Marion?
I think it's the people, for sure. There's just something about it, People can be naysayers and negative, and we do have our problems. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But boy, do we rally around our neighbors and the ones that are hurting the most.
Yeah, for sure.
I see it on a daily basis.
Very tight-knit.
Yes.
When did you start getting involved in the city government? How did you get introduced? What made you want to get into city government?
I pay attention to politics, and I have for quite some time. Local politics, I wasn't so involved in for quite a while. And then I like to joke and say empty nest will make you do some silly things.
Right.
When my son went away to college, he graduated in 22. I decided to run for city council and then was elected at the end of 23 for the 24-25 term.
Okay. What was your main reason for wanting to run for council?
I think bringing a blue-collar, common-sense approach.
Right.
I own a local contracting company with a business partner. I have a couple other small companies.
Oh, wow.
I'm a veteran. I teach in the community at an at-risk high school.
You're a very busy man.
So, yes. But I just thought that I could bring something to the table and hopefully common sense.
Some kind of new ideas and nuance to the newer generation. You are also a board member of Downtown Marion, Inc. Can you speak about any upcoming announcements or current developments you're working on?
Not necessarily, because they moved they took a vote, and the board took a vote, and they moved their meetings to midweek during the lunch hour. And I teach. It was on Fridays. Buckeye Community School isn't open. The actual building isn't open, so I was able to make those meetings. So
okay.
I've actually stepped back from that position, and Ralph Smith has been appointed to that position.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, I got some wrong information. Let's say you can speak a little bit to downtown, since Marion Inc. Since you.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a great job down there.
Right. Let's say we got the new Arch Up. Events are coming, growing. What's the next big move to make downtown an actual destination and not just a pass through?
Well, there's something in front of council now, and it'll be coming to the third reading, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, about our own commercial building code department and an inspector, and I'm torn on that. I haven't made a decision yet. There's a handful of people that are really in favor of it because of the delays of the state with the plan reviews, the time frame to get them back, the inspections. But there's a lot of people that have figured out the system and how to work. I won't say work the system, but how to work within the existing system. So I've put a call out yesterday trying to get a representative, the chief inspector, to come up from Columbus for our third reading, and hopefully he can make it and answer some questions to help us make a decision. I think council's torn on it, to be truthful. Yeah.
Right. You said what were you trying to? What office are you trying to?
The state building code.
State building code office.
Yeah.
Okay. You went back to school later in life for business. What's one lesson from that journey you now apply when mentoring students or when voting on a tough budget item?
Good question. Good question. I think first and foremost, I think it was a lot easier later in life to go back to school.
Right.
Because I had so many more life experiences to draw on.
Right.
You know, and it really kind of helped me work through. And at the time, I'd already owned a couple businesses and I was studying business. So I got to apply that. I got to learn a ton, you know, that helped me
life
till today. But I had a lot to draw on that as a young person coming right out of high school. We don't really have that many life experiences to draw on. So we're kind of learning these things blindly and not seeing where the application will really fit into.
Right.
Yeah. So I know that probably didn't answer your question.
Yeah.
If you want to repeat it there, maybe I can get to it.
What's one lesson from that journey you now apply when mentoring students or when voting on a tough budget item?
Open-mindedness.
Right.
You know,
this helps you kind of.
We have to go into things being open-minded. You know, if I go into something, you know, I'm conservative to the core.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to go into something with blinders on and this is the way it is. I want to hear out everybody. I think that's my job as an elected representative of the citizens, because I represent not only people with conservative values, but I represent those with liberal values, you know. So
it's a little mix in between.
Yeah, so I need to listen and take everything in and then come out with an informed decision. And then communication.
Yes.
Communication is huge, and I talk with almost every city council member at different times, you know, and because I love to get their opinions, even if we disagree.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, Ayers Ratliff and I talk 3-4 times a week, and a lot of times we'll vote differently, and I'm quick to call on him and say, okay, I know we don't necessarily agree, but what was your perspective?
Right.
I just think that'll make me a better legislator to be able to understand the other side's perspective.
Right. Have open debate instead of just be closed-minded.
Yeah, it's healthy, and that's what we should be doing. We should be talking and hashing out ideas, and then making decisions, not going in closed-minded with a predetermined outcome. You know.
Right. We've kind of seen a lot of that in the
earlier
years of the 2000s. Yep.
Yes.
I want to broaden to the whole city council. Council recently passed ordinances vacating parts of Hoyle Street in a State Street alley. Ordinance 2025-047 and 2025-041.
I think you're misinformed on that.
Oh.
That failed.
It did fail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that failed.
That did fail. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll go to the next one. With the capital improvements program ramping up pipe replacements, how is the council coordinating with committees like yours to prioritize projects? And what's one recent win where everyone aligned quickly?
Well, I don't know if it's because we all want to spend that kind of money, but we are also, you know, the sewer project that you're referring to, that's federally mandated.
Right.
We don't have a choice.
Right.
We have to do it, and it's over a span of 29 or 30 years. It's also $29 to $30 billion.
Right.
You know, but we do have a loan from the government. It's 1%, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a win. These sewers in Marion, you know,
they are
120 years old.
Right.
You know, so it's time for us to take care of
for
them,
sure.
Whether we have it in the coffers or not. And I hate to stretch things out and kick it down the road, but a project that big, you have to be
that's going to take some time.
You have to be able to chunk away. And actually, we should only be on phase 2, and we're actually completing phase 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
what's mainly going down here by the Jersey, going on down here.
Yes, all the way right down the road here on East Center.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, East Church Street.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, and it does help out. You know, they have to tear up a lot of sidewalks and punch holes in the road. And, you know, you can see if you drive down there after this interview that they're getting all new sidewalks.
Yeah, I have seen the sidewalks
you know,
before,
so hopefully that improves.
New hydrants and stuff like that. So that's very good improvement. Resolution 2025-0112 greenlit up to $9 million in bonds for a new fire station. What was the key debate on the council floor about balancing that investment with other taxpayer priorities like sewers or roads?
Well, that was a separate levy from years ago that our citizens voted on.
Okay.
So they knew that was coming. A certain percentage of those taxes are going towards, and actually they're paying an additional tax to go towards a new firehouse.
Right.
You know, the firehouse for one downtown is over 100 years old,
Yeah.
and I've been in there and been in the basement when they're backing those fire trucks in, and there's concrete crumbling, and
that's not good.
Yeah, so
I'm sure it floods
it's time,
too.
but that isn't something that council just said, hey.
Right.
We need to spend $9 million.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Firehouse. This is something that the citizens voted on.
Yeah.
And we have the responsibility to set that money aside and have that in place. And now we're in the architectural design phase, which we approved that portion of it, and then that'll come back, and then we'll start the building process.
Right. Was that going to be where the old Rite Aid was?
Yes, sir.
That is. Okay. I thought I heard that.
Yep.
And then council meetings have covered everything from appropriations to land transfers lately. What's the biggest tension point right now, say, between fiscal hawks and growth advocates, and how are you bridging it as pro tem?
I think the biggest issue is certain offices not following the letter of the law and spending above what was budgeted,
right,
without the proper appropriation. That's been the biggest tension point.
And were you referring to the auditor's office?
Yes, sir. Yes, and specifically the deputy auditor.
Right.
You know, admitting on record, hey, I had to pick between one bad path and another bad path. Well, the issue that is bringing all this tension is that bill was due in June. He paid it, I think, in early September, and then brought the ordinance for an additional appropriation after that. So that's where the tension lies.
Right.
We understand things happen, but as soon as you know, you got to bring that to council.
Right.
Hey,
that's when
we were short on this fund. Yeah. And then also the ECID. I'll butcher the actual name of the acronym, but the ECID is it's an energy supplemental income driven. It's a tax. It's through the Port Authority, and they loan the money out for the new uptown, the Brickyard, and then on Fairground, the new apartment complex.
Okay, the Harding
Village.
Yes.
Yeah, so they get a low percentage loan or low interest loan through the Port Authority. Well, the city of Marion is just a pass through. That money gets paid to the county, it comes to us, and then it goes to the Port Authority. And that's up to those building owners to be able to pay. And somebody unfortunately didn't pay theirs one year, and they did fortunately catch it up the following year. Okay. But our deputy auditor sent the payment out. And the city isn't on the hook for that. It's in their contract and in their agreement that they're responsible for that.
Right.
So that's another tension point that we're working through. And hopefully there's some corrective action plans being put in place to where these types of things can't happen moving forward.
Right. I know we had the misappropriation of over $1 million of IRS funds as well a while ago.
Yes, when it was inadvertently sent to the state as opposed to the IRS.
That was
and that was before me, but
yes.
Confidence is very low.
Yes.
And I think that's the big push on the charter.
Yeah, that's another reason I wanted to get in contact with you and all the other officials, was to try and just shed some light for the citizens in Marion. Okay. If you can just explain the charter a little bit to me, because I'm not very intertwined into it. I'm not very deep into it.
So the majority of municipalities in Ohio, I think there's over 88 not counties, but cities that are actual charter and not statutory.
In Ohio?
Yes. Okay. So charter city gets to basically write its own constitution, its own form of government. I mean, we do have some adherence to the state, but we can do things as we want.
Right.
Right now, I think the big push for the charter right now is to try to get some qualified people in the financial offices of treasurer, city treasurer, and city auditor.
Right.
Right now, all you need is to be a registered voter within the city, live within the city, and be able to fog up a mirror.
So you don't need any actual qualifications
No,
to run the city's budget.
Could just be a popularity contest.
Right.
I've lived on every side of town. I could probably run for city auditor, and there may be a good chance that I could win. But I have no idea how to do that position. So that's not something I would ever do.
Right.
But I think that's the big push on the charter. And the great thing about it is, and there's so much negativity around it at the moment, and I don't think people necessarily understand. Next Tuesday, we're voting not on the charter.
Mm.
We're voting, should we form a charter commission to write a charter?
Of 15
citizens. So next November, then everybody who's a registered voter will see the charter, have time to discuss it. There'll be open meetings as they're writing this charter, and everybody can show up, put their input in. You can contact your charter commission, the charter commission members, and give them your thoughts and insights. But we're not voting next Tuesday to make Marion a charter city.
Right.
It's a possibility that we could the following November. And my opinion is, why wouldn't we at least see what they come up with?
At least see what the 15
And I know
citizens.
there's a cost associated with it, but I'm sure you're familiar with the costs that we've incurred as a result of poor decision, poor leadership, poor financial accounting.
Right.
So I just think, think it's so worth us even attempting to go that route.
Just trying an alternative route.
Yeah. And if we don't like it, I'll be the first one to stand up and say, this is not good. I'm voting no. I encourage others to vote no.
Right.
I hope they don't try to take too big a bite of the apple and change too many things structurally within our government. Right. I would really only want to see those couple things. The other thing I would like to see, which I don't think it has to go through the charter, is potentially 4-year terms for city council and do staggered terms, do 5 and then 4. Because as it sits, every 4 years, we could get 9 new council members and a new mayor.
Right.
And I think that would be really detrimental to the city.
We wouldn't have.
It's huge. It's going to be hard enough next year, losing the likes of Ayers Ratliff, Jason Schauber, Mike Nav. Hopefully he's reelected. I'll be voting for him, but Aaron Rollins. But, these are all guys that have some institutional knowledge that go way back. Ayers has been on council 20 years.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Yeah, so could you imagine if every 4 years we had 9 new council members and a new mayor?
It'd be like DC.
Yes, it'd be terrible. So that's something, and I don't know that I think that can be done through the ORC. I don't think that has to come through a charter. So we'll see what happens next Tuesday. And if it's not a council-driven initiative, maybe the citizens will decide to drive it now that they know a little more about it.
Okay. What do you think a couple of the main things the charter would bring to Marion?
I'm hoping, and I have no say-so in it, I'll show up to meetings, I'll speak my opinion, but I would love to see job qualifications, for auditor. I'd like to see, some experience in government finance, X amount of years experience in government finance.
Right.
The same with the treasurer's position. Well, because there won't be a treasurer auditor, but we could have a director of finances or a CFO, if you will.
Right.
And have them have those type of qualifications, meet those type of qualifications to be appointed to that position.
So there won't be so many avenues to go through and people to,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it also would allow us to pull from a larger pool.
Right.
They won't have to be out of the 35,000 residents, and many of those are, under 18. So, 19, 20,000 adults living within the city.
Right.
And it's going to take a special person with that type of background and that type of experience to come in and clean up for lack of a better term, the wreckage of our past.
It is it's going to be a mess.
Yes.
With somebody coming, I know they recently wanted to raise the salaries for those positions. Not recently, but a while back. I don't personally think that would really do anything. I don't think people are actually after it for the money. They want to come and actually do something for the city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I do think the the treasurer's position is probably, they're making, after the first of the year, they'll make $12,000 a year.
Right.
I think
so it's not really a beneficial
I think that's
position.
I think that's a little low.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Experience, I would rather see that position closer to the $18,000, $18,000 to $20,000 mark on the treasurer. But hopefully we don't have that. Hopefully we free up those two salaries, the $60,000 to $70,000 that the auditor makes, plus the 12 that the treasurer makes, and then that can be put towards
so the auditor
makes CFO.
The auditor makes 60, 70,000,
60 to 70, I believe.
And the treasurer only makes 12,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is considered a part-time position, but
right.
But it's a very crucial and important position. He's the check and balance to the auditor's office. That's why they reconcile. One does the writing of the checks and paying of the bills, and the other one reconciles the bank books, which has been a huge issue for us for a lot of years now. So another reason why we need qualified people in those positions.
Right. Just get us back on track. So
yes.
We're not misappropriating funds
anymore.
Hopefully
Back to a net zero starting point to move forward, which will take time. Right. Even with the new audit that just come out, this, next year I feel the next audit for 22 and 23 will look worse and worse.
Right.
But it's trending us in the right direction, and I'm hoping by 26, 27 that we can have things kind of on point.
Yeah, because they are about 4 years behind.
Yes.
Yes. So that's not good at all.
Yeah.
Anything else you would want to say about the charter?
I just think it's worthwhile to let them write a charter to see what it's going to be,
and then see what,
and then every citizen can vote yes or no on it. And as I said, if there's too much in there, that I don't think we come in and do massive changes.
Yeah.
I think our biggest issue right now are the financial positions within the city. Mm-hmm. And I think we have to get some qualified people in there.
For sure. Once we do get some qualified people in there, do you think there should be a more public approach to kind of let people know what avenues are being taken?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would hope there would be full transparency.
Right.
I would hope that there would be transparency within city council and with reporters and whoever wants to know.
Which Marion lacks.
Yeah, that just seems to be. There's record request avenues that you can take, but sometimes those don't get answered in a timely manner. But hopefully we have somebody in there with some government finance experience that takes that position and can come to council and update council on where we are, the corrective actions we're taking, and pinpoint exactly what we have in the bank and then what our expenses are.
And what we need to do from there.
Yes, sir.
I'm not very intertwined with the charter, so
okay.
I know where can people go to vote, or when can they go and vote?
Well, there's early voting going on right now. You'd have to look up the voter registration to see if you're not sure where to vote, and it'll give you your location.
See if you're registered.
Yeah, it's an Ohio ID app and or voter registration app, and then you can just contact somebody at City Hall and they'll let you know.
And that's usually at the DMV.
Yes.
It'll give you a location.
Yeah,
on
the
app.
board or the Board of Elections is where I should send you at the county building.
Okay. So overall, you want citizens to at least.
I would like to see a charter be written.
Right.
And then we make our decision from that.
We have the opportunity to fix Marion.
Yeah, we're right on the cusp, and this is a one avenue to do it. And I think this is our best avenue to do it. We've been waiting for some things to get dialed in, and it's just not happening. So I think having somebody with more experience with government finance to come in and take over those positions, combine those two positions, would really help our city.
So the charter would broaden, I guess you could say, the map to people that would want to run.
Yes. Yes, if they could write the charter that way. They could.
Okay, yes.
They could have in there that the CFO or director of finance has to live within the city.
Right.
And I would hope that wouldn't be the case. I would hope that we would open it up.
Right. There's not. There obviously seems to be nobody in Marion that wants to do that.
Yeah, well, and I can't say that I blame them.
I wouldn't blame them either.
They would be taking a huge pay cut.
Yes.
Not that they're doing it for money, but also to walk into the situation they know they're walking into.
Yes.
and the workload they know is coming, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to take somebody with some real initiative.
And obviously, we don't have anybody to, we didn't have anybody. Our auditor was unopposed last term.
Right. You're unopposed.
Yes.
So most of city council is unopposed.
Yes, sir.
So how do you, with you guys running unopposed all the time, how do you guys keep ideas fresh? How do you?
Well, I think that's where we come back to communication and talking. At a meeting you here this morning, you asking questions. I'm always talking to neighbors, talking to people at the grocery store, right. Whatever the case may be. I'm always trying to have my ear to the ground to see what the major issues are in the city, or what equally as value, any ideas that we have that could help promote our city or make our city a better place to live.
Right. I'm not going to say any specific council members, but do you think there are some members that could have a little more initiative, come to the table a little bit more?
I think so. Yeah.
Bring more.
I think so.
Ideas, kind of not just being there for the check, the salary.
Yeah, and I don't know that anybody personally.
Right.
I don't think anybody's in it for the check. I don't think anybody is in it for a power grab.
Right.
We don't have that much.
Yeah, it's not really.
We're servants of the community. It's a lot more work than what you would anticipate.
Oh, for sure.
But I would hope there would be a little more conversation out of certain council members, on the outskirts, to try to come up with ideas and concepts and get to know other people's perspectives
instead of just wanting to vote on it.
And a lot of times in council, I'll say I can't speak for anybody else, but a lot of times in council, I may not have a ton of questions. I do have some questions, but I don't have a ton of questions because I've typically already done my research. I've already called the law director. I've called the mayor. I've called the streets department. I've called the engineer.
You've had the proper communication.
Yeah, so I don't need to put all that. If it's something that I feel the community really needs to know that they wouldn't understand, then I'll ask for explanation on that.
For sure.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to say about the charter?
No, I just think we should give it a shot to see what they come up with. At least, and as I said, if we don't like it, let's vote it down. I think with all the IRS penalties and late fees and in the financial situation we're in, I think we have to do this.
Right.
I think it's in the best interest of the community.
We're at a tipping point.
Yeah, even if we would vote it down next November, I think the attempt of doing it,
it's the thought that counts. It's the initiative. Somebody's trying.
Well, results are what counts when you're spending taxpayers' dollars.
Yes.
It's not the thought that counts.
Yeah. Yes.
But we have to start somewhere, and I think this is a great starting point.
Right. And the 15 board members, that would give us more of a broad view of look into things.
Absolutely, there are people from different ages, socioeconomic backgrounds, education levels, which I think is a valuable representation of the community. I know there's a complaint that there's a lot of candidates on the ballot from the 6th ward, which it sure looks like that, and that's accurate. But that they had just as much time as everybody else in all the other wards,
right,
to file a petition, to pull a petition, get the signatures. They only needed 5 signatures, and then to get it submitted on time.
And that was for the charter.
Yeah, for the charter commission
to get that rolling.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for being here with me. You're the only one that's reached out to me so far. So
okay.
I'm going to keep trying to reach out.
Okay. Well, I respond to my emails to the citizens.
For sure. If I definitely need some more info, I'll definitely.
Absolutely. It's great talking with you.